Russian soldiers are speeding through a dusty, rough terrain, the noise of their engines shaking the surroundings. Dressed in camouflage and armed with their weapons, they continue on their way, as if hoping that the enemy will not notice them. But in the sky, watching their every move, a Ukrainian drone operator waits like a silent but deadly hunter. And this is the moment. The drone takes off at jet speed and makes a deadly dive within seconds. Before the soldiers even have time to notice, it hits its target with a precise strike. Suddenly, a cloud of dust surrounds the area, and the sound of engines is replaced by a deep silence. Mission accomplished. The Ukrainian drone leaves behind the enemy it has neutralized and moves on to its next mission. With the first light of the day, a huge convoy of Russian tanks is on the move. As the heavily armored vehicles move forward, making the earth tremble with their metallic mass, the soldiers inside them move forward with the thought of reaching their goal. But what they don't realize is that an invisible hunter is watching them from the sky. By the time the tank convoy realizes the situation, it's too late. The first drone hits the lead tank with a direct hit, but the attack doesn't stop, as one after another, kamikaze drone after another, hunts each tank like a partridge. The flames rise, the explosions continue in a chain. Write this more clearly. You can support us by liking the video and subscribing to the channel in return for our efforts. As a military vehicle carrying Russian soldiers speeds by, a Ukrainian FPV drone locks onto it at jet speed. There is no escape, not even time to maneuver. In a few seconds, the drone reaches the target and hits it with a direct hit. In the blink of an eye, everything changes. The vehicle bursts into flames and smoke rises into the sky. The panic of the soldiers is compounded by the violence of the explosion. As one of the most effective elements of modern warfare, FPV drones are becoming not only a surveillance tool, but also a lethal weapon that changes the balance on the battlefield. Here we witness the shadow of death silently approaching the Russian military vehicle from above. Silent but deadly, FPV drones soar through the sky, detecting and hitting their targets with pinpoint accuracy. Before the men in the military vehicle realize it, death is watching them from above, and then one bomb after another. Each one shatters the steel body of the vehicle, sending chunks of metal flying into the air. In a matter of seconds, the vehicle that once roared across the battlefield is now an unrecognizable pile of scrap. The smoke and fire rising in the aftermath of the explosions reveal once again how ruthless and inevitable modern warfare is. If you want the conflict to stop, take a step. Like and share this video and join our call for peace. The louder our voice, the faster the world will hear it. Together we can bring the echo of peace to every corner. In the face of ongoing conflict, Russia looks to North Korean troops. According to reports, Russia has started sending North Korean troops into the conflict, and Ukraine says it has video proof that the men are from North Korea. Russian commanders dispatched these troops to the battlefield with the mission of pushing on Ukrainian lines. But they were moving without armored backup, a scenario straight out of World War I. This glaringly demonstrated the Russian leadership's seeming indifference to the security and efficiency of their North Korean friends. This issue might be explained in part by the North Koreans' lack of armored vehicle operating training. It appears that Russia lacked the time and motivation to give them these abilities. Additionally, their lack of knowledge of contemporary fighting methods, especially. Moreover, their unfamiliarity with modern combat techniques, particularly encountering unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, further expose their vulnerabilities on the battlefield. There is an evening chill in the air and the sun is about to set. But what is this? A Russian military vehicle stands suspiciously in the middle of a field. A strange sight, its existence out of place and suspicious. Seeing this, the Ukrainian drone operators waste no time and send in several drones loaded with bombs, leaving the vehicle to burst into flames. The flames completely consume the vehicle, leaving behind nothing but a charred, smoldering pile of metal, a silent testament to the effectiveness of modern warfare. It is reduced to scrap, one more small victory in the never-ending struggle. If you want the conflict to end, subscribe to the channel and share this video. Let's work together to make our voices heard around the world and raise the voice of peace. In this video, we witness striking moments of how an operation begins. The beginning of the video shows the drone taking off from the ground, preparing for its mission. Gliding towards the target, this sophisticated technology is both silent and deadly. A Ukrainian drone, loaded with ammunition, is moving towards a Russian military base 5 kilometers away. Eyes are glued to the screen, eager to see how this breathtaking operation unfolds. Step by step, it approaches the military site. And there it is. When the target is reached, breaths are held. The sound of an explosion fills the screens, leaving only a cloud of dust and a shattered base. The story of a Ukrainian UAV, the danger from the air. We are living in challenging and stressful times. In an open area, a Russian military vehicle comes to a stop. Unaware of the serious danger they face, Russian soldiers exit the van and survey their surroundings. A drone from Ukraine hovers silently in the air, unnoticed, but deadly. This advanced technology moves quietly and decisively, like a terrible shadow lying in ambush on the hill. Then, it begins. The Russian soldiers are showered with grenades dropped precisely from above. The explosions hit their targets with devastating accuracy, neutralizing both the vehicle and the men. These images, taken in the Kupiansk region, once again illustrate the brutal nature of war. A Russian armored column was the target of a minefield and simultaneous attacks by Ukrainian troops. Russian infantry and tanks were trapped in a firebag with almost no chance of escape. The video horrifies viewers as Russian tanks and armored vehicles explode one after another. The smoke rising after the explosions and the chaotic radio conversations clearly show how critical the situation is. With perfect coordination, the Ukrainian army managed to completely corner the enemy by using multiple means of destruction at the same time. The attack clearly demonstrates Ukraine's mastery of modern warfare techniques and how it targeted vulnerable points of the Russian army. Both landmines and anti-tank missiles are just some of the tools Ukraine used in this operation. It is also clear from the footage that Ukraine's air assets also came into play and increased the pressure on the Russian convoy. Such tactics are part of the Ukrainian military's effort to gain the upper hand on the battlefield. Putting intense pressure on the enemy through multiple simultaneous attacks not only undermines the morale of Russian troops, but also greatly weakens their logistics chain. The attack on a top-secret underground passage belonging to the Russian army has brought the tensions of the war to the peak. Thanks to critical intelligence, the Ukrainian Air Force wasted no time and deployed kamikaze FPV drones. These drones hit the target with pinpoint accuracy and completely destroyed the underground passage. But the most remarkable aspect of the event was the intensity of the explosion. It was clear that there was a significant amount of ammunition deep inside the tunnel. If you want the conflict to stop, take a step. Like and share this video and join our call for peace. The louder our voice, the faster the world will hear it. Together, we can bring the echo of peace to every corner. A massive attack on a Russian military convoy has raised the tensions of the war once again. In a critical move, the Ukrainian army launched successive drone strikes against Russian tanks preparing for an offensive. These attacks are considered to be an effective tactic that can change the course of the war, not only in terms of military strategy. It seems that the Ukrainian army continues to apply innovative methods to increase its power and gain the upper hand on the ground. Such attacks not only cut the enemy's logistical chain, but also have an impact on the psychological dimension of the war. In the coming days, we will see more clearly the long-term impact of these tactics on the conflict. The moment when the Russian military convoy attacked once again demonstrated how prepared and effective Ukrainian forces were. Responding with both a minefield and drone-assisted defense strategy, Ukrainian forces immediately frustrated the enemy's attempt. The minefields greatly restricted the movement of the Russian convoy, which provided the perfect opportunity for Ukraine's drone strikes. These drones hit their targets with pinpoint accuracy, causing extensive damage to vehicles and completely disorganizing the convoy.